Hey there and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making my version of one of my favorite Roman pastas, which is called Bucatini al Amatriciana, which is really basically a red sauce with a little bit of bacon, or you can use pancetta, but today we're going to be doing it my way. I've been making this recipe for a long time and I'm so excited to share it with you today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nicholsen. I do all things cooking, cleaning, and home decor, and if you are new, I would love it if you would subscribe. If you're a returning girl, it is so good to see you. Let's just jump right into this recipe. So to get started, we're gonna be making about a pound of bacon. You can either get some really thick cut bacon, which I have here, or you can also use pancetta, which is delicious. Now, I like to use it with the bacon. Personally, I think the flavor is just so good, but you can do either. I'm gonna link the recipe down below so you can follow that along as well. I'm also gonna be cutting up 1 yellow onion. With this, we're gonna also add about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. You guys know I love my garlic, so go ahead and use maybe 1 or 2 cloves if you're not a big garlic lover. And then what we're gonna do is saute that down in the leftover oil from the bacon. This part is super important and is what makes this dish so good. Tell me in the comments down below if you've had this before, and if you have, where, and do you like it? So once all of your bacon is done, go ahead and take a nice maybe Pyrex or something and pour the oil into it. We're not going to be using all of it, so I like to pour it into, I've got it sitting here on the side in a little dish, and then I start to add it back in almost like an oil base. Now I'm going to be sauteing down my yellow onions until they're translucent and super fragrant. I'm going to also add my garlic, and while that's sauteing down, I'm going to cut up my bacon. There are a couple different ways you can do this. Again, I like it to be super crunchy. This is the way I've always made it, but you can also cook it halfway so it's a little bit softer, and then cook it down in the sauce as well. Either way, you can't go wrong with this. So before I start my sauce, I want to get a little bit of water boiling, and then I'm going to head over to my onions, adding a little bit more of that bacon fat into the onions just to get them really, really delicious and coated. Then I'm going to take 1 28-ounce can of crushed San Marzano tomatoes, and I'm gonna work that in really slowly. I have my heat at about pretty much a medium low, and I like to incorporate my flavors slowly so nothing burns. A lot of times with this, if you burn it, it will drastically change the flavors. So since we already have the bacon coming in, I want to cook things nice and slow. So while that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start my pasta. Now this dish traditionally calls for bucatini pasta, which is basically spaghetti but a little bit thicker. My kids really like just using regular spaghetti, so that's why I went with that today, but you can really use anything you want. And then once you have cooked down some of the juice of your tomatoes, you want to add in some tomato paste. This is going to be a nice thickening agent, really create that thickness that we look for in a matriciana. So to season this sauce, I like to use a Cabernet seasoning spice. I'll link it down below. It's one of my favorites. A little bit of salt, a dash of pepper. I like to mix all of that in. If you guys have seen a couple of my other videos where I've made pasta sauce, you've seen how I kind of add different spices to it. But one of the most important seasonings to this dish is red pepper flakes. You can either use crushed ones or just regular red pepper flakes. I season this with that, and then I let the heat from that actually cook in. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken stock to this as I gradually reduce down these the juice from the tomatoes. So keep that on hand so that you continue to work it down, and then when you see it get really, really thick, add a little bit more. Towards the end, we're going to be adding in a little bit more oil, which makes this super delicious. So I am going to start a salad today. You guys have seen in my Easter decorate with me, or cook with me rather, I did my pea salad. I actually do it 3 different ways. And today I'm going to be adding in some rough greens. I've got some baby kale in here. I've got baby arugula in here and baby spinach. I'm going to be adding some fresh chives. I want to just roughly chop this up because I really love the texture of it and it doesn't get lost when it's nice and big. Then I have some broccoli microgreens. The flavor of these microgreens are so good. It brings in a lot of like peppery arugula vibes. And then I'm also going to be using a nice little helping of peas here. I love these, they crunch down really nicely. And then I'm gonna be adding some fresh lemon zest. That's really what makes this a bright dish. Now this lemon with the sauce we're gonna have later go perfectly. The Amatriciana comes from the northern Italy, kind of Rome area. So a lot of times a nice salad with some acidity goes perfectly as a balance to the fat from the bacon. So we're gonna be adding that in too. I also have some of these beautiful spring flowers I'm gonna add in here. I just think it looks pretty. It's a pop of color, but oh my gosh, you guys, if that isn't like a green goddess type salad, I don't know what is. I'm gonna be using my favorite Gerard's dressing. It's called champagne vinaigrette. It's so good. It's quick and easy. This is literally what I make for dinner. So a lot of times I'll just throw the camera in the kitchen while I'm cooking and share with you my recipes. So this will be our salad, and then we'll be finishing our sauce. Once you see it thickening up like this, you're going to want to bring in the oil. There's something about the way the oil plays against the tomato that just makes this so good. I cannot wait for you to try it. So just go ahead and keep reducing that down, adding the oil, stirring it, and you'll see the way it coats it and gives it this gorgeous glossy kind of texture. And then we're gonna add it to a bowl of pasta. I like to pre-mix this. You will see in this video, because this is what I make for dinner for my kids, I don't add the red pepper flakes until I take half the sauce out. That way I can feed my kids one half and then we can have the other half. That's just a tip if you are gonna make this for your kids. That's why I seasoned it the way I did in the beginning, and then I add the red pepper flakes down at this time when I add the bacon. That way it all cooks together. So once your red pepper flakes have cooked down, I also added a little bit of Calabrian chili in there just to really give it an extra kick. Go ahead and add it to a bowl of pasta. You want to mix it up a little bit, but not over mix it. That way you coat the pasta with the sauce, but also leave it nice and chunky. And then let's get ready to serve this to our family. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Definitely check out all the other recipes I have on my channel. I recently did an amazing coconut lime chicken, pancetta wrapped prawns, the world's best lasagna. I've done so many different things, so definitely check out all the food on my channel. If you are with me on Instagram at Mrs. Lauren Nicholson, tag me in whatever you make, and whatever you do, just have fun. I'm so happy you joined me today. If you are new, definitely subscribe, and if you are returning, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!